Are you tired of going to the doctor with the same issue over and over again and never getting any relief? Are you tired of buying all types of vitamins and supplements, hoping but not knowing for sure that they will keep you healthy? Or are you getting enough of the right kind of nutrients that your specific body needs? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you need a nutritional blood analysis. With a nutritional blood analysis, we can take one drop of blood from a prick of your finger and analyze your body's nutritional needs, nutritional deficiencies, and nutritional imbalances. This analysis can provide an early warning of possible future health challenges so you can make the changes now to avoid the negative outcome. A nutritional blood analysis can be used to monitor a health challenge before and after adopting an approach to restore health and balance. It will also allow you the ability to determine the effectiveness of various approaches to restoring and balancing your health. So don't wait. Make your appointment. Stop guessing with your health. Know what works for sure. 901-602-7063.
Graphics Printing, located at 890 East Range Road in Memphis, a complete print shop for all your printing needs. They do it all: color copies, resumes, funeral programs, rubber stamps, full-color business cards, wedding and graduation invitations, and more. 30-plus years of quality work and service. They're open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m., located at 890 East Range Road in Memphis, Tennessee, 901-345-9294. Graphics Printing. CJ Used Appliances, located at 3530 Jackson Avenue here in Memphis, Tennessee. Call them at 901-487-7882. CJ Used Appliances have the best prices in town, sales and service, heating and air. Also the best appliances you'll find anywhere in the Mid-South. Refrigerators, microwave stoves, washers and dryers, deep freezers, dishwashers, whatever you need in used appliances. And folks, I'm telling you, they're the best used appliances anywhere you'll find. That's CJ Used Appliances, 3530 Jackson Avenue. All appliances come with warranty. You can call them at 901-487-7882. Again, 901-487-7882. CJ Used Appliances. C&S Motors Auto Sales, located at 2508 Summer Avenue, here in Memphis, Tennessee. Call them at 901-323-8778. C&S Motors Auto Sales has been around since 1984. Go by and see Chris today for some of the best pre-owned and used vehicles in the city. They have SUVs, minivans, cars, trucks, whatever you're looking for in pre-owned used vehicles. Hey, you can find it right there at C&S Motors Auto Sales. See Chris since 1984. They will treat you right. Call them at 901-323-8778. That's 901-323-8778. 2508 Summer Avenue, C&S Motors Auto Sales.
This is Sergeant Chris Richardson with the Tennessee Highway Patrol, here to explain the Tennessee Hands-Free Law, which is a new state law effective July 1st, 2019. In Public Chapter 412, it makes it illegal for a driver to hold a cell phone or a mobile device with any part of their body, to write, send, or read any text-based communication, to reach for a cell phone or mobile device in a manner that requires the driver to no longer be in a seated driving position or properly restrained by a seatbelt, to watch a video or a movie on a cell phone or a mobile device, and to record or broadcast video on a cell phone or a mobile device. So, can I still talk on my cell phone while driving? Yes. A driver is permitted to use an earpiece, headphone device, or a device worn on a wrist to conduct a voice-based communication. The driver may use one button on a cell phone or mobile device to initiate or terminate voice communication, and voice-based communication may also be used to send a text message. Learn more at handsfreetn.com.
Welcome to Talk Back Live in the morning. It is now 8:02, 2 minutes past the hour of 8 o'clock Central Time, and a very pleasant good morning to you.
I got you.
And a very pleasant good morning to you on a Thursday morning. Yes, a lovely, wonderful morning, and starting your day off at 76 degrees under over there. Turn that up. Yeah, okay, all right. 76 degrees under a mostly sunny sky. A beautiful day to start your day today. And I tell you what, we have a great show lined up for you. Hot topics of discussion, news that you could use, local, national, international. And the number to call is 901-213-6020. Again, the number to call is 901-213-6020. We're gonna take your phone calls. We're on Facebook Live, as a matter of fact, right now as we speak, and you can go and watch us live there as well. Also, you can listen to us on the Spreaker app. Those of you that are on Facebook and other places, you can join us on the Spreaker app. That's Spreaker. That's Spreaker app as a free download on your mobile devices or all your computers. And once you download it, search block and search Talk Back Live. That's one word altogether, Talk Back Live. And then click follow. And every time we come on, show on our station, whether it be morning, afternoon, or evening on our shows, you'll be able to know that we're on it. You can listen to us. All right. Good morning, Josh.
Good morning, Bob. Good morning, everybody out there listening, watching, tuning in, however you may be checking us out. Another great show we got lined up for you today on this Thursday morning. Of course, you know Thursdays are our Fridays here on the show. So last show, got a banger for you on today. And when I say banger, I mean a banger, a bang-up, knock-up show for today. So y'all stay tuned. We got some very interesting information that I know you guys are going to want to know, going to need to know when it comes to these elections that are coming up here locally, on the local level. So stay tuned, stick and stay. Special guests coming up, hot topics of discussions coming up as well. So y'all stay tuned.
Yes. Okay, go ahead.
I just thought about it. I got more to say, actually.
Yes, go ahead.
Coming up, also follow us on social media. Follow us on Twitter at TalkBackLive. That's one word, at TalkBackLive. Also Facebook, facebook.com. TalkBackLive with Bob and Josh. Like our Facebook page. Check us out there. TalkBackLive Network on Facebook as well. Hit us up there. Follow us. And keep up with everything we got going on. And if you're watching us live now, you're following one of the Facebook pages, which is Talk Back Live with Bob and Josh. Over 600 plus likes on this page, close to 900 or 1,000 on the other two pages combined. There, man, we appreciate all of you guys for the support. And good morning to everybody else coming in on Facebook and so on. But, Bob, I think without any further ado, let's get it on.
All right. And I tell you what, we're going to get started here. And, Josh, let's get it on. 76 degrees, sunny skies to start your Thursday. And we're excited about the show today. And let's get it on. In the headlines today, we've got Well, we've got several things to talk about. We have time to talk with them. Good morning, Michelle Land coming in, GKP, Jay, out of Memphis, Tennessee, and other people that are checking in, Greg as well, all of you coming in. Thanks for checking in with us on Facebook. Hey, we've got special guests coming up today in just a little bit. Also, we're going to talk about a police investigation. Yes, an investigation on political candidates. Well, let's talk about it. Josh, we have political candidates that are running for office that say that, well, we're running for office because we want to represent you, the people.
Yeah.
Well, this particular political candidate that wants to run for city council to support you, the people, and protect you, the people, to serve you, the people. He had to, he got into an argument and he pulled a gun. That's right.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. And we have the information, things that are coming up here. He pulled a gun on a worker, former employee of his. So, hey, I tell you what, Johnson said, now that's pretty bad to me.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So check this out. And it's surprising because it's Thursday, right? Mm-hmm. Y'all know today is Thursday. And I bring up the reason today is Thursday because this happened Monday. And it has not been reported by any local news other than us and one other local news station on TV in this city. But you would think, even on the mere allegation of a candidate pulling a gun on a former staffer of his own.
Yeah.
At an early voting polling location.
Wow.
That this would make some type of news.
Now, this is what the guy that we're going to play in just a minute, the guy that used to work for him says.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, we got the clip here. And y'all take a listen. Once again, you'll be listening, not seeing, but listening. This audio here, and it's very, very compelling, to say the least.
Yes, it is. Hey, folks, take a listen to this. Phone lines are open. 901-213-6020. Take a listen.
A campaign worker. Thurston Smith says he was threatened by one of his workers, but the worker says it was Smith who did the threatening. Complicated story and could involve criminal charges.
Fox 13's Kirsten Garris has this story live at East Memphis tonight. Kirsten, you talked with the two men in the middle of this.
And Daryl, the only thing these three police reports have in common are Thurston Smith and Anthony Johnson. Both men are mentioned in all these reports. Now, in one, Smith is considered the victim in that case. But in these two reports, he's actually listed as the suspect who allegedly pulled a gun out at a polling. These three police reports paint two stories about what happened at the Dave Wells Community Center Monday afternoon. In one, City Council candidate Thurston Smith says he was blindsided when Anthony Johnson, who worked for his campaign, threatened him.
I'd be more than willing to have a calm, mature, man-to-man conversation with you. I don't want to hear that.
But Johnson says he was the victim, not the suspect. In these two reports, Johnson, along with say this was an argument that ended with Smith pulling a gun on Johnson. And did he say anything when he had the gun pointed to you?
He never said anything, but at the same time, the barrel of the gun was pointed toward me and the other workers.
Johnson says it was over money. He says he was hired by Smith's campaign back in January as voting coordinator. Johnson says he hasn't been paid in months, and that's why he confronted Smith.
If you can't be honest, in situations, how could you be honest with the people in the district?
So I asked Smith about this contract.
You'll see that there's another party included in that contract. And that party was the first person to rescind from the agreement. That initial agreement that we established way back in January was between three parties.
Fox 13 obtained a copy of that contract, which is between Johnson and Smith's former campaign manager, Daryl Catron. At the bottom of the page is Smith's signature, dated 2nd, 2019. I called Catron and he referred me back to the campaign. A new spokesperson said Catron left the campaign in June.
Agreement between me, Mr. Johnson, and Mr. Catron. So I hope that clears it up. But listen, I have to...
And actually, Mr. Smith, it does not. We also have gotten 2 police reports that mentioned that you had a gun yesterday during the incident.
Yeah, no.
And I also talked with the Election Commission about this incident. In a statement to Fox 13, you should see it on your screen, Shelby County Election Administrator Linda Phillips said, quote, "We were shocked when this happened. Guns are not allowed inside the polling place. This has never happened before, and we hope it never happens again." Live in East Memphis tonight, Kirsten Garris.
Okay, wow, there you have it. And 0121360 is the number to call. Thurston Smith and Anthony Johnson. Anthony Johnson was a former employee of Thurston Smith on the political campaign. And so he ends up getting into an argument. You hear the Mr. Johnson say there, he got into an argument with him, and then he pulled a gun. He pulled a gun. How can you vote for a candidate or somebody in office to represent the people or to represent you? And as bad as crime is in this city already, then you're going to have a political candidate or somebody that wants to support you in office or whatever the case may represent you to, act in such a way to carry or to wave a gun or to point a gun at someone.
And see, now,
that's a criminal act.
And technically, like I say, and the only reason I say allegedly is because just in the legal aspect of it, because it's what he's been accused. I'm not saying he didn't do it, but it's allegedly. So that's why I'm not saying just legal purpose. This is why I'm saying that.
Right. We're just what we got. Okay. So what we've got, if I say that he had pointed a gun at him, this not reported. No, it's reported. That's what we're saying. Yeah. That's reported to us. Exactly. Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
But there says 3 different police department reports that explain the 2 stories. But here's the thing. Now, 2 of those stories confirm the account of Anthony Johnson. 2 of those are in his favor because the other one was from a witness that allegedly saw what took place as well.
Yeah.
So they both submitted reports about what they saw happen in this situation with Thurston and Anthony Johnson. Now, here's the thing. Like I said at the start of this, one, why is this the first time, maybe for most of y'all on this show or, if you saw it on Fox 13 Monday, why are these the only cases of which we're hearing about this in the local news?
Yeah.
Whether, what do you want to say is, there's not proof or whatever. Anytime there's an allegation this serious against a political candidate that's running for city council, this is something that people need to know. Mm-hmm. This is something that people need to be informed about. This is something that people need to know about somebody they could be potentially voting for. Mm-hmm. And no matter what you think, this is one of those things, and I'm going to say this is why, ironically, this kind of a follow-up on yesterday's show. Mm-hmm. If you listened yesterday, we were talking about and explaining about Thurston Smith and why, we don't trust him for that office. And you kind of see some of the behavior processes with this alleged situation that went down. If you have that type of temperament, which I believe he does, that doesn't need to be in the city council. Mm-hmm. Just point period.
Yeah.
And from everything I've seen and heard from him personally, being around him in different situations, it's no way. No way would I trust him in office. No way would I vote for him.
Yeah.
And period. So.
We've known Thurston Smith, ourselves. So it's not like
that's what I'm saying.
It's not like he's a
personal
stranger.
Experience.
Yeah, personal experience, and he's a nasty guy. Thurston Smith is one of those people that, and he said here, he just in the video with the news reporter there, that he just wanted to have a calm conversation. Thurston Smith never has a calm conversation. He never does. He's always like one person just said here, sent us a message. What is his name?
Fergus.
Fergus. Mm-hmm. Fergus, if you could call in and talk to us, man, whenever you get a chance as a caller, just call in and tell us what you know there. And you got some things here that you said. He said Thurston lied on legal documents to try and get a protection order against him. He says. He said I was asking the questions, and so I was going. If you can call us and let us know. Lots of people coming in. Thanks for checking in with us today. Michelle Land, more truth for us. Okay.
And I think she was talking about what Fergus was saying.
Yeah.
In the link, because I asked last night. I did some of the details, not the entire thing, but I know he was kind of detailed experience he had with Thurston as well.
Yeah.
As far as getting an order of protection against him and stuff like that. So, all I know is
it's a shame, Josh, that you have a political candidate that wants to represent the people pulling a gun on what we the news that we've got. He's pulled a gun on his former employee.
Yeah. And see, look, I'm going to tell you another thing, and I know you know this too. When it comes to money, I sincerely doubt that conversation was as calm that Thurston was trying to be as calm as he said he was. So let's look at the facts here. Anthony didn't get paid for services rendered for his campaign. Now, number one, off the bat, I can totally see that happening. For Thurston not paying for services rendered.
Yeah.
If you know what I'm saying, Bob. So, and then, going forward here, Anthony Johnson confronts him about it, and then what happens. But, all play. And I think the guy, the victim in this situation, Anthony Johnson, he just laid it out perfectly as far as trusting political candidates or not.
Yeah.
Display certain attitudes and actions in the public that people feel that you're not deemable to be trusted. In basic business.
Yeah.
If in basic business you acting like a fool, how in the world for you?
Right.
And how do you think I'm gonna expect me to tell other people to vote?
I don't see.
It's not the way it goes.
To me, I don't see where Anthony Johnson here would be lying about this situation. To me, he just don't seem like he's lying. To me, it seems like he's heard about the whole thing. Right. For Thurston Smith to pull a gun on him and because of money owed or whatever the case may be, Thurston Smith, you are not you do not hold calm conversations. I have had conversations with you, and you're a nasty guy. You don't sit down and try to talk to someone. As a matter of fact, you've gone behind my back and tried to talk to white people against me. So I know what kind of person you are. You're not that guy that you're claiming to be, and you want to represent the Fraser community. Devin?
In Raleigh and all that.
And I don't. No. You're not the guy for the job, sir. I'm sorry. You're not the guy for the job. You're a two-faced. You're a bad. You're a liar. You're all of those things and more. I just don't trust you. You're a snake in the grass, and you're very recognizable to me. And I just don't trust you. I don't think you should be representing the people. And but we need to find somebody. You people in that district, you need to find someone that can represent you guys better than this. And this guy, he's been jumping around too from one district to district and he's trying to do is just get on the city council. That's all he wants. He just want a job on the city council where he can sit there and say, "I've arrived."
Yeah, exactly.
He don't care where it's at.
Those are the people you got to watch out for. You talk about the people that are just looking to step up the ladder just for the sake of.
Antoine says it sounds like the president.
Yeah, Antoine says Smith was trying to make Memphis great again. Well, he sure failing, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
But honestly, man, look, here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
With people that are just trying to climb the ladder just to say, hey, I got it up here, I can put this on my resume, and then I can continue to climb ladders. And you're not worried about actually helping the people. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. You're
not really worried about helping the people. You're not really worried about the problems or the ills that this community is facing.
Right.
And, I can't trust people like that, man. And I don't think in any office, I don't care what the situation is, you can't afford to put somebody like that with that mindset in office.
No, you can't.
Point blank period. And I'm going to tell you, well, we got our guest probably calling in now.
And, hang on.
Call from
Charlie.
Okay, and we have our guest now, and we're honored and glad to have him on anytime he's available. Very busy man, and maybe he need to get in some office or something and take some of these guys out of office that don't need to be there. Ladies and gentlemen, we're glad to have him as part of our show today, Pastor Charlie Caswell. Charlie, welcome to the show.
Good morning, Bob and John. How y'all doing this morning?
Doing good, sir. How about yourself?
Doing well, Bob. I kind of got to pray hard about taking that leap, man, because it was Jesus that they said that we Hosanna, Hosanna. Then when he got there, they said crucify him, crucify him. So it makes you, man. It makes you think hard. It makes you think hard about jumping in that water. But I say to anybody that look to get in it, when you know that you're getting in it for the right reason to really help the people, then do it, man, because as that old saying is, you damn if you do, you damn if you don't. So make sure you're listening to God when you make that decision.
Absolutely, absolutely. Charlie, we've got some things going on, man. You know about it in the 7th District. Man, it just seems like, past few years, it's been difficult to get somebody that can really get in office and really the people can trust them, that can represent the people. Once they get there, I mean, they show off, man. I mean, they go way out in left field somewhere. What's going on with that?
Bob and Josh, I just say this, man. It's sad that in our community that like the minority is the majority, and the is fearful of the minority, and meaning that we, and especially in District 7, but we throughout the city of Memphis, blacks are some 67% of the population, which is the majority, and can have that support to bring about real change in their community, not taken away from nothing from the other races and other people, but yet putting some equity in place and equal opportunity own people to come over there hump. And the person who we got there now, Berlin Board, I mean, I still remember the night being put out of City Hall when he voted when we stayed there at about 1 a.m. Really, I was ready to go home anyway, but having them have to put us out because that he goes off on it was a white constituent, Mr. Hunter Dempster, to say your mama, because he were calling him on his blatant racism, or how can I put it? Because they said he a black man, how can he be racist? But he was sold out to the white leaders that was on that council to try to put in place another white man who only been in our community for 3 months
from Mississippi.
The race in Mississippi, so they didn't want him down there, and then you're gonna try to come on us here, and he can't say Berlin Board that he didn't vote for him. Out of all the 100 votes, he voted at least twice, but votes that they needed to actually give him the office, and it led to the nightmare of us having to go without representation until they appointed Sherman Greer into that seat. So,
wow,
yeah.
So, okay, Charlie, I don't understand. We've got you got someone that you think that would be a good candidate and that you're backing, and we
District
want
7. Mm-hmm.
District 7. So we have Burley and Boyd there already, which that's got to go. Okay.
Yeah.
Then we have Thurston Madman Smith, which we don't want to have anything to do about him in office. Okay. And you have a candidate. Talk to us.
Well, I mean, I'm supporting Michael in Easterland. I think a lot of us who are on the grassroots side of the work that's being done in this, people that are grassroots leaders, and she's still running our roots. Where she have worked diligently and hard. She grew up in Fraser, moved over in North Memphis rather, and she's been a teacher for a while, but running that organization in the evenings, on weekends, to train residents, to get them to be advocates for their community. I don't see nothing changing when she going to City Hall. She's going to stay true, and we're going to hold her accountable to stay true to the roots of the community, in making sure that people's voices are being heard, Bob. It's just unfortunate and sad that you see the trend when you talk about District 7. Uptown, people are doing great. They can get dog parks thanks to Burley and Boyd. But then you got communities like North Memphis that can't even get an investment of a park, and houses are being torn down, and vacant properties stay blighted for years. I took pictures of some just a couple of weeks ago over off Claybrook in North Memphis, in his district. And so sadly we see when they talk about gentrification that he and those who are on that council, the developers who he worked with, who like Billy Orger, who give to his campaign, are allowing communities like that to go where then the property begin to sell for pennies on the dollar, and they come in and start buying up the property, So and their friends to gain off of what they could have helped to prevent by igniting with our tax dollars equity and equitable opportunities for those communities. And that's why he got to go.
Yeah, absolutely. Charlie Caswell is our special guest this morning, and we're talking about Burley Boyd. He is the 7th district. He's in the city council now, represent the 7th district. And of course, we're wanting to get him out of there. We've got a commercial. Can you believe, Charlie, that this guy had the audacity to cut a commercial? For people to put him back in office. I can't. But I mean, that really I just threw my hands up. I couldn't believe this. But I should have believed it because all the craziness he's done. So he have a problem with doing something like this. So, but anyway, go ahead, Charlie.
Say to that, Bob, they know how to play the game. The money, the power movers, power brokers in this city who is helping to fund his campaign and run his campaign, they know, sadly, that in District 7 we have been having low turnouts. Many people are mobility in these communities again because once they move into his district, they found out that the crime is high in a lot of areas. Blight is there because his leadership failed to address that. And so the power brokers who fund him, that's by design that they do that. So they say, okay, well, we'll just wait till close to election and we'll push out like you the shining star trying to change that. When he got a commercial talking about he helped with the Fraser Library, man, them old women, I don't like to call older, but them seasoned women who fought hard. It was residents in Fraser who did this work, man. Right. I'm talking about he wouldn't even answer they call over his head, go to the mirror himself. I sat there one day on a blighted property a couple of years ago that they finally got to tow down. He came to show up because it was a press conference, but it was because the residents, we was asking him, he couldn't get that done. We went to the mirror, and the mirror came helped to get that property knocked down. But yet he want to take credit for things like that. The library the community center. You all seen the news where we was talking about mold falling down in there. This man's been representing this community for almost 8 years. Because he was appointed a couple of times,
right?
And now he's in this, and we just being able to talk about getting something done. So it's that type of politics that got to go, because sadly he can do a deal with Gibson and FedEx overnight, but it takes almost 10 years to get something done in our community that's right.
Yeah, right. And the community that he so-called now, we were talking about Berlin Board, which is in the city council right now, running for re-election for that seat, and also we're talking about Thurston Smith, which is also running for that district to win that seat. And I don't know what Thurston is trying to do. I think he just wants a job. He don't care where it's at. just give me a job on the city council. That's all.
And like I said earlier, man, it's one of those things. You want folks that just want a job or a name just because of that reason. I think there's a lot of people in politics. Charlie, I'm sure you've seen this. They just want to have something else on their resume. Once they get in there, they're going to get whatever under the table deal they can get for themselves. And it's like the community ain't worried about them. I just wanted this job. Now I got this on my resume.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then whatever happens, happens. So that's going forward. Yeah. So.
Well, I just say this to that. It's just sad that, and I'm seeing it a lot as I've been up and back and forth to Nashville. I'm headed back in the next week or so for 3 days of training around people that's in government, Bob and Josh, that's been doing this work for over 20 years, but yet they're calling on people like me because they see, and the knowledge of what they have been doing is that they just been getting rich. They getting $100,000 a year salary, going into communities like ours and acting like we don't have the capacity to help ourselves. So, we got to go help them old Negroes, and sadly they think because they got book knowledge or head knowledge that they can keep the people in the dark. And again, I've been knowing Thurston for years. I think Thurston, but yet I say to that I think Thurston is looking for an opportunity. And I would say I would hope he's looking for, but it was just my conflict. Thurston was running in 7 before, and I supported him. People say, well, that's Charlie Cass. Well, he supported Thurston before. Yes, I supported him in 7, but Thurston then decided he was going to run in 1 and moved in 1, and then he jumped back to 7. And when it seemed like this, his foot in his mouth and killed what he did. So that flip-flopping for me is not what is solid. Then when it comes to take care of the business of the people in District 7. And so I don't know about, I heard the news about it. I don't know the details about him, what he did with the news, him pulling the gun on the individual. Yet, I guess y'all the reporters, y'all the media, y'all got more of that than me.
But Charlotte, I just let you know a little bit about it. We were playing the story a little bit ago, and so there's a guy named Anthony Johnson that actually worked with Thurston in the past campaign, and he has the records of a check that Thurston was, or the agreement they signed a contract for him to work on the campaign, things of that nature. He came to Thurston and said, "Look, I hadn't been paid."
We still have the audio, right?
Yeah. Now I know you wouldn't be able to hear it, unfortunately.
Okay.
But that's why I'm just kind of explaining it real quick. And so that's what happened. He said, "Hey, look, I want my money." Thurston's like, "Hey, look, whatever." So then, according to when Thurston was leaving, he went and pointed a gun at them across the hood of a car. And there was also another witness that came and reported it to the police later on. Then Thurston also found a police report saying he was threatened by Anthony Johnson. So you got two sides of the story on that type of deal. So it's a crazy thing, man. But
but if you have a guy to not pull the gun on you and pull the gun out and aim it at him and say, "Hey, look, I'm not gonna say nothing, but you know what this means. I'll kill you." So we don't need someone in office like that. This city, Charlie, is already has a lot of crime and people getting killed and guns being pulled. How would it look to have someone in office like Thurston Smith is pulling guns on people? To represent the community, that's not good representing the community. He's a criminal.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I can't go there, but I say this: that unless you want us to go back to Dodge City, and everybody carry a gun, and then we just have a drawdown in the street to handle our business. That sounds like what that turns out to be. And no, we don't need that, because in large of the work that I do is I understand the deep rootedness trauma that many people went through, and so that traumatized mind and the disrupting of their neurodevelopment, their emotions drive them to quickly respond, sometimes without thinking. And sadly, we seeing it every night. 2 shootings in Orange Mountain last night, double shooting, 2 people dead.
Wow.
And the man pulled out the gun as he got the warrant vote and shot the sheriff deputy 4 times in the chest. And those type of things is that, we need people thinking rationally and creating a culture of understanding to the point that it's not what's wrong with an individual that may come to you in a way, and you having the mindset to be sensible and sensitive to that this person may be traumatized, right? And maybe I can talk, and that could have been a powerful situation where he could have shown that let's talk man to man about this sensibly, for others don't be hurt. Because as you just said, it is that we don't need that, because it's going to send out a bad message. I was sitting in a training the other day, and there was a African proverb that was shared, is that when 2 elephants fight, the grass suffer. In other words, it means that when 2 powerful individuals fight, the weak who we're talking about helping, we're hurting them.
Right.
We're killing them because we're fighting. And so we have to learn how to deal with our disagreement, especially when we got influence, like a person who's thinking about running for office. You got to have come at it a different way, because it's the people that's under you that looking at you and take that behavior as acceptable behavior. So
we are with Charlie Caswell on the phone. He's a community activist, pastor, among other things. And
yes, sir. Author.
Hey, Charlie, probably got a few more minutes here, but how important do you think these elections are, though? Like we were just talking about,
go ahead, Josh. And then I want you to tell us about tell us a little more about the candidate that you're supporting.
Exactly. Yeah, answer both of those.
So what's the first question about, Josh?
Like how important do you feel like these elections are with the city council and everything like that for the city?
So I'm going to say this, is that I think the election is very, very important. I think that, like I was stating the other day when I was talking to you all about how when we as a city and the community voted to give over our charter to Shelby County, and therefore the city of Memphis got out of the business of educating our kids, and then bam, the municipality said, oh hell, we pulling out from them, and they went into the business of educating their kids, and they began to raise taxes in their community to make sure that their kids had the best. Collierville got over $100 million school bill that got main theaters and cafeterias that look like, the Taj Mahal out there. And so they value the environment, understand the impact of the environment of their children that has a impact long term. So these elections are very important, because a 4-year term creates a 15-year impact. Because by the time they get out of that 4 year, they have passed policies that make another generation to change. So now we are looking at children who have been very effective by the $6+ million that were given every year from the city to the educational system, especially with what we know now about the adverse childhood experience and the trauma that these kids are experiencing. and the evidence behind it, Bob and Josh, that shows that parenting is not. So you know how people always say that it's just bad parenting. So we got to change that. We got to change it to caregivers, because anybody that touches or care for our children has an impact of a parenting moment on that child's life.
Absolutely.
And so unless we are intentional about creating those type of communities and that type of environment, that everywhere this child go, the police officer who say something to this child can have an impact. The pastors, the politicians, the parents, those things have to be understood as an elected official if you're going to talk about getting into office, not just for your own glory. And that's sadly, y'all, what happens. Politicians only run for 4-year terms, so they only care about what happens so that they can position themselves for the next 4 or the other level of office that they're seeking to try to get.
Right.
And that's what I believe we have in Michael Easton, a person that's not a politician, but is truly public servants. As an educator, she understands this. She have worked around our children and had to be a mama, a daddy, and everything else to admit to the children who fail to get that type of parenting or caregiving at home from parents who've been traumatized themselves and have been affected to the point that they don't have the nurturing skills to give to that child because they didn't get nurtured themselves.
Right.
People only do what they know how to do.
Yeah.
And so I think that an election, man, any election, we see the impact of the presidential election. Even though, yes, we may gain the whole world as a country, but I think that in part we're losing our soul because when you can accept the type of leadership that the MENA women, the way that this leader do, that talks about people that's handicapped, that you know, the people that the children that are being impacted, even watch this year that's coming up from Mexico, and the impact of them at our borders being separated from all of that is going to have a lasting impact on our society, because if those children move into our country, they're going to be the ones who out here in our streets that's going to be dealing with that in the future.
Right.
So it's just a lot to understanding the impact of an election and making sure you get the right people in there. But y'all know that old saying is bad news sometimes becomes good news. And so Thurston Smith, in the situation that he had with pulling the gun, guess what? People probably didn't even know who he was. So now, you know, that name started to ring, and sometimes and to the people going to poll, but man, I don't know why I pushed that name, but I did.
Yeah.
Because that's the name that rings to them. Because sadly, Bob and Josh, people don't take the time to investigate and research these candidates like they should. And they sadly, you can throw up a sign in front of their face or run in and give them a ballot in their hand, and they just go in there, push the button.
Right.
And sadly, then we end up with a Berlin board back in seat. So
yeah, we don't need Berlin board back in there. We don't need Thurston Smith to get in there. We know keep the guns out of the city council. And we need somebody like what's her name, Michelle?
Michael and Easton. Easter Thomas. Yeah, Michael Easter Thomas.
Okay.
Yeah. She had just got married. He's a young minister, Thomas, and but yeah, a good-hearted young woman. I think that has the best interest at heart, and those are the type of people that I believe that this city needs. And I'm gonna say this to that too. When in part, I support a woman candidate, both for the mayor office and Tammy, and also supporting Rhonda Logan for District 1, and then Michael in for this term. Because Bob and Josh, I say this to that. It's like these men that we've been putting in office, man, don't have that nurturing or that compassionate to understand. It's almost like they start telling our children to pull themselves up by their bootstrap without the kids not even knowing where to get the boots from. And they have not even worked in this community to help these kids understand how to get the boots. And so that's why seeing women in office, just like State Senator Katrina Robinson. This young lady only been there not even a year yet and got legislation passed to have adverse childhood experience across the state of Tennessee. I stood with her a couple of weeks ago and signed that legislation. I'm talking about millions of kids because this woman had a heart to show the evidence and research. And these other politicians, they see the same thing she saw. So, that's the thing is I was talking yesterday with Bill Gibbons about an issue, and, I wasn't happy that Bill Gibbons was doing community-wide when it comes to Operation Safe Community. But guess what? I didn't go to him fighting. I seen him at a little block party thing that was being held in the community with Old Island Station trying to get neighborhoods watches up in the apartment, and I went to him like a man. And I said, Bill, all I want you to do in your capacity of Operation Safe Community is look at the evidence, and the research that show this, right? And he said, Charlie, you know what? You're right. Let's sit down and let's look at it. We can do both of these things. So that's all it takes. Sometimes, people want to hold protests and march. Let's just go sit down and talk.
Yeah, Charlie, we've got people that are on our Facebook page. They're all talking about Miss Thomas, and they're going to support her.
Shout out to
saying good things. Yeah,
Michelle Land on here,
and Fergus Nolan, and what's the other guy's name there? Well, we saw his name earlier.
Yeah,
she's an activist and educator. Somebody,
Miss Thomas.
Yeah.
And
Now
I'm gonna read this real quick too. Just looking at it.
Yeah.
I guess these are some facts. And I don't know if you know about this, Charlie. You probably do, but Fergus putting out about some interesting stuff in Berlin here. He says Orjo and his colleague at Tower Ventures donated $17,500 to Boyd's campaign in 2015, and Orjo's son Benjamin is running Boyd's current campaign. Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know if that kind of goes into what people.
He has. Be reading the same one, but
it's another one. It says Orjo and his partners at 1544 Madison. This is the comment I'm reading. It's not. Gave Boyd an investment worth over $4 million for free, pay for play. They also got a pilot worth over $6 million. So that's interesting. There's a lot of deals being made, Charlie.
Oh yeah, and I'm gonna say this, and that's what they see, and that's what they do. This ain't nothing new. Even though we're talking about Burley and Boyd taking advantage of those type of opportunities, and that's sad that you put yourself before the people. You should just stay out here and do private sector work and get it done, right? And you don't have to go in office and try to make those. You're supposed to go in there and represent the people, not make deals. But yet, many times we miss over and look over the fact what he's modeling is the person who helped them get in there. You talk about Kim Conrad deals that he have made. This man got leases on apartments at Sears Crosstown, where 300 some units in there that his company is leasing. Well, the city of Memphis gave $15 million. The city council voted, gave $15 million to that project being done, but his company benefit. Pinnacle Airlines moved into First Common Square. His company owned the lease on that. So Pinnacle got $5 million of our tax dollars. And they went in and renovated the building and stuff. Guess what? Then they turned around and bankrupted the next year and moved out. So he got a renovated building, right? And he can look back and say, I didn't vote on it. That's what the company wanted to be downtown. 500 employees, but they didn't even stay a year or two down there. So there's nothing new. He just doing what he see the other folks are doing, but it ain't good. It still is not what's in the best interest of the people as a whole. So that's what it's good for those who do know this information to share this information. But I pray that those who are in our district who are going to go to the polls know these things and vote accordingly. We don't need a runoff. We need Michael and Easton to win this thing overwhelmingly. And so that we can just put it to bed and position our candidate to go in there and represent our district coming up. So
okay, Michael N. Easton Thomas. Yeah. Michael N. Easton Thomas is her name, and she's the one that I guess we don't want Thurston Smith. Please Folks, don't do that. Don't do that to us. Don't do it to yourself, because I'm not in that district, but don't do that to yourself from the foot. Don't hate on yourself by electing Thurston Smith. And don't, please, whatever you do, don't put the Boyd Berlin back in office. And he's got a commercial out. I don't know why, but he's just lying all over that commercial. And but yeah, Michael N. Easter Thomas is who we need in office.
Yeah, that's what we need, Bob. And like I said, it's time to change. Time when you like Eastland, who is an educator, and she to know the value of creating a culture in the communities of education there. Since it's going to take another act of Congress, I'm going to say it's going to take probably 2 terms of trying to referendum for the people to vote to get back into the education business. This is still things that can be done. Michael has said it well on her campaign. Is the city council can invest into the after school programs in the libraries, in the staff members and people there to help these kids who parents may be working 2 jobs or who parents may not be educated, that when the kid go home, they have a place of contact within our community that can increase our reading scores and other things that will have an impact on kids not going to jail because they're not reading on grade level and not understanding, the don't have an education where they're going to end up being. So.
Right. Charlie Caswell, activist, pastor, and so on, author, and so Charlie, man, we appreciate you. And tell the people how they can contact you if there's any way you're on Twitter or wherever you are.
Yeah. So I serve as executive director of Legacy of Legend Community Development Corporation. Legacy of Legend focused on helping families and children who have been impacted by trauma or in helping them to get assessment. Thank God for a partnership with the University of Tennessee that we got therapists that's working with us that provide that counseling to them. So you can find me on Facebook, Charlie Caswell, or you can reach out to me. Again, if you have a child or family member that needs some counseling or support, 901-236-4604. Or you can email me at 3vleader@gmail.com. 3vleader@gmail.com, and we'll be glad to serve and help in any kind of way, even if your community is trying to come together. Bob, we have some powerful training and workshops that we can offer to help people on the ground who's doing this work to really come together in a greater way. Let's not allow politicians to do this work. Let's do this for our communities.
And your number again, Charlie?
901-236-4604.
Okay. Charlie Caswell, hey, we appreciate you joining us today again, and thanks for all the information you shared with us. And the candidate that you're supporting again for 7th District?
7th District, Michael Easterlin Thomas.
Okay, let's get her name out there, and let's vote her in and get these other people out. All right, Charlie, thanks for joining us. All right, we're going to take a quick break here, and then we're going to come phone calls and messages. People are leaving as well. 901-213-6020. And thanks for all the comments you coming in on. And Andre, good morning. And
good morning, guys.
Coming in now. And hey, we're going to take a break. And when we come back, we'll continue our conversation and some other things to talk about.
Yes.
Oh, do we have to talk about it? Hey, it's coming up next, folks. Don't go anywhere. It's going to be a good one. Coming up next. You're listening to Talk Back Live with Bob
and John.
Starting your day, 76 degrees, sunny skies. And after the break, you can call us 1360 to join in on the conversation of what we're talking about today. And it is now 8:56, 56 minutes past the hour, 8 o'clock. A very pleasant good morning to you on a Thursday morning. We'll be back. your mama.
Are you tired of going to the doctor with the same issue over and over again and never getting any relief? Are you tired of buying all types of vitamins and supplements, hoping but not knowing for sure that they will keep you healthy? Or are you getting enough of the right kind of nutrients that your specific body needs? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you need a nutritional blood analysis. With a nutritional blood analysis, we can take one drop of blood from a prick of your finger and analyze your body's nutritional needs, nutritional deficiencies, and nutritional imbalances. This analysis can provide an early warning of possible future health challenges so you can make the changes now to avoid the negative outcome. A nutritional blood analysis can be used to monitor a health challenge before and after adopting an approach to restore health and balance. It will also allow you the ability to determine the effectiveness of various approaches to restoring and balancing your health. So don't wait. Make your appointment. Stop guessing with your health. Know what works for sure. 901-602-7063.
Graphics Printing, located at 890 East Range Road in Memphis, a complete print shop for all your printing needs. They do it all: color copies, resumes, funeral programs, rubber stamps, full-color business cards, wedding and graduation invitations, and more. 30-plus years of quality work and service. They're open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m., located at 890 East Range Road in Memphis, Tennessee, 901-345-9294. C Graphics Printing. CJ Used Appliances, located at 3530 Jackson Avenue here in Memphis, Tennessee. Call them at 901-487-7882. CJ Used Appliances have the best prices in town. Sales and service, heating and air. Also the best appliances you'll find anywhere in the Mid-South. Refrigerators, microwave stoves, washers and dryers, deep freezers, dishwashers, whatever you need in used appliances. And folks will tell you they're the best used appliances anywhere you'll find. That's CJ Used Appliances, 3530 Jackson Avenue. All appliances come with warranty. You can call them at 901-487-7882. Again, 901-487-7882. CJ Used Appliances.
This is Sergeant Chris Richardson with the Tennessee Highway Patrol here to explain the Tennessee Hands-Free Law, which is a new state law effective July 1st, 2019. In Public Chapter 412, it makes it illegal for a driver to hold a cell phone or a mobile device with any part of their body, to write, send, or read any text-based communication, to reach for a cell phone or a mobile device in a manner that requires the driver to no longer be in a seated driving position or properly restrained by a seatbelt, to watch a video or a movie on a cell phone or a mobile device, and to record or broadcast video on a cell phone or a mobile device. So, can I still talk on my cell phone while driving? Yes. A driver is permitted to use an earpiece, headphone device, or a device worn on a wrist to conduct a voice-based communication. The driver may use one button on a cell phone or a mobile device to initiate or terminate voice communication, and voice-based communication may also be used to send a text message. Learn more at handsfreetn.com.
All right, and welcome back to the show, Talk Back Live with Bob. Hey, it is now 9:01, 1 minute past the hour, 9 o'clock Central Time, and a very pleasant to you on a Thursday Yeah, Thursday morning and started the day off at 76 degrees. I'm pretty sure it's warmer than that now. Well, temperature is supposed to be rising. Maybe a in the forecast. Waiting to see what that system down in the Gulf of Mexico and Houston the area is causing a lot of rain down there. Said it could head our direction. Mm-hmm. We do need some rain.
Absolutely.
And hey, welcome back to the show. And it is 9:02, 2 minutes past the hour of 9 o'clock Central Time. A very pleasant good morning to you. You're listening to Talk Back Live with Bob
and John.
And we had Charlie Caswell on our show a few moments ago. He was talking for a while there, and we were talking about the situation with the 7th District, people voting over there, and who to vote for, who not to vote for. Mm-hmm. Berlin Boyd to go. And for the life of me, I don't know why. He's done nothing but lied to the people. Not to me. We're not in that district, but
no.
To me, he just hadn't done anything from the way it seems, and hear other people talking. Mm-hmm. Berlin Board has done nothing for that district.
No, and see, here's the thing.
But collect the pay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And, we talked about the different pilots and talked about different under-the-table deals and things of that nature. Who's in bed with, so to speak, not literally, not in that sense, but y'all know what I mean. But yeah, man, so it's interesting. But check it out, this commercial. And once again, this is not an of his.
No, absolutely
but this is just as an example for y'all to hear the of his claims.
And the lies that he tell and speak about what he did, what he's done, and what he wants to do for you in the 7th District. Don't believe him. Take a listen to this.
Hi, I'm Berlin Boyd, and I'm a third-generation Memphian. And throughout my life, I've seen our city's highs and its lows. I have a vested in the city grow. I got sick of the conditions that our neighborhoods were in. That's why I fought hard for programs like Clear Path and Motor Own. From bringing new jobs to cleaning up our streets and fighting hard to create spaces. Our community continues to be my biggest priority. I won't stop until our communities have what they deserve and until we have the proper resources to fight crime. Too many politicians are out there simply making statements. And worst of all, they're not getting anything done. Not me. I take pride in leading our community in the Memphis City Council through what I do. I will continue to take action and get results for you. I'm asking you, Berlin Boyd, so that I can keep fighting for us. Just like your mama. How about that?
So that's what Berlin Boyd wants to get reelected so that he can have the opportunity to say stuff like that. Just like your mama.
That's why I fought hard for programs like Clear Path.
Yeah, just like your mama.
Just like your mama. How about that?
Yeah. That's all he wants to get in and say stuff. Man. And then bring some politician, white politician from Mississippi up here and then make him a citizen and then say, hey, all the black people vote for this white guy. I trust him.
Just like your mama. How about that?
That's the kind of stuff we don't need at the city council.
No.
He needs to go.
And ironically, that was the same night Charlie was talking about at the city council, because that was one of the most chaotic nights in the history of Memphis. At the city council that night, I remember we were on the radio and we had the show the next day, talking with several people in the Fraser community that were there, including Apostle Ricky Floyd, who was called in.
Yeah, he was kind of frustrated.
He was fired up
that night.
Because he was there fired up and couldn't believe what was happening. Charlie Caswell got thrown out of there by Berlin Boyd.
Whoa, Charlie.
Yeah, and I remember on the show today. And then, you hear Berlin talking about Hunter Dempster's mama there. So, I mean, it's just pretty crazy stuff, man. That's not the type of representation you want.
And also another guy we don't want in the people, you guys that in the 7th district, you don't want, what is his name?
Thurston
Smith.
Thirsty Smith.
You don't want him in office, okay?
Well, some people think he's thirsty for a seat on the city council.
Yeah, he wants a seat anywhere. He don't care district or the 10th district or the 2nd district. A job on the city council, folks. That's all he wants, so he can go around and pull up his jacket and boast how big he is now. He's an arrogant airhead. That's what he is, and he needs to humble himself. He's not the one for our district. He's, I've had dealings with Thurston Smith, and I just trust him. I never have trusted him. I never have. And then he goes behind my back and tries to
do some low down
white man.
Hey, So what? You know what? I think Thurston would be perfect for.
What seat is that?
This seat right here.
Yeah, there you go. There you go, the toilet. Yeah.
There you go. Wow, that took some effort.
That's a long one.
That took some effort to go there.
Oh God,
man, had to flush twice.
Yeah, well, he could sit on that and think about himself all day long. 901-213-6020. If you want to call and get in on the action here and talk to, appreciate again Charlie Caswell for calling in.
Oh yeah,
and
absolutely.
being our guest this morning and talking with us. And he said, Michael Ann Easter Thomas.
Yeah,
she just got married. He says the last name is Thomas now. Michael and Easter Thomas is the 7th district, and everybody over there, you need to put her on your list when you go in and vote, and forget about Berlin Boyd, forget about Thurston Smith, and and all the other, especially those two. Forget about it. They're not there to work hard or to to change the community. I can't believe Berlin Boyd talked about working in the community, changing things, and all this other kind of stuff. I mean, what he must be talking about another district.
That's what I don't know where that community is he's talking about.
I don't either. 901-213-6020, and thanks for all you coming in and oh God, would you stop it, Jet? They said you should create your own audio ad of that.
Oh, trust me. Trust me. I've been thinking about it. Look,
yeah.
If I didn't look, man, I was thinking that right before the show. And don't be surprised if something coming soon. I'm gonna just let y'all know now because it's not that hard.
Yes, it's
to do.
Yeah.
How about that?
That's the only thing he's done.
That ain't productive.
No. That's the only thing he's done in the city council, other than work for other people instead of his own district.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I think he's trying to run for mayor. He doesn't need to do anything but.
Well, I mean, I think probably the thing he's going.
Yeah, that's what he wants. Get him out of office, folks. Get him out. Berlin Boyd is the thing that we need to void. Berlin Boyd.
That's a good one.
To get void. Yes.
Void Boyd.
Void Boyd.
There you go.
That's what you need to do. And Thurston Smith, tell him to play the gun. Okay? Put your weapons up, Thurston. Who are you shooting at?
Guns down, fight like a man.
Guns down, fight like a man.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, God. Did you want to play that clip again?
Yeah, I had to pull it up. It's just
where Thurston Smith allegedly pulled a gun on this particular guy. He's in the news clip, and we're going to play it. You can listen to this guy the whole story about man, that must have been a terrible ordeal with Thurston Smith wanting to be city councilman for the 7th district, and then he pulls a gun on somebody
for wanting money that's owed to him.
The guy worked with Thurston Smith. He deserves, but Thurston didn't want to pay him his money. But yet he showed him, he said, I'll kill you. I'll point a gun at you. I'll shoot you. That's what you deserve. We don't need a criminal or somebody like that in office to do such a thing.
It's a thug mentality.
It is.
Right?
It really
is. Like I say, man, when, and y'all know, when the most dealings that, we've had with him were at the radio station, if you remember, because he had a show there at one point.
Yeah.
While we were there.
And we've got our own now, so we, yeah.
I mean, y'all know, because you're watching it.
Yeah. But
yeah, so anyway.
And you're listening as well. They can listen on the Spreaker app, Josh.
Yeah, Spreaker app.
Spreaker is free download. You can listen to us on there. And search TalkBack Live. One word, TalkBack Live. And go there. Get that Spreaker out, man. It sounds good.
It's awesome.
And whenever you can't get Facebook, you can get that Spreaker Live. You can listen to us, different shows that we have on our station here. Anytime that we're on, you'll be notified. Just follow us at follow TalkBack Live on.
Police are trying to sort out.
Here it is. It came up.
Go ahead.
A city council candidate and a campaign worker. Thurston Smith says he was threatened by one of his workers, but the worker says it was Smith who did the threat. Complicated story and could involve criminal charges.
Fox 13's Kirsten Garris has this story live at East Memphis tonight. Kirsten, you talked with the two men in the middle of all this.
And Daryl, the only thing these three police reports have in common are Thurston Smith and Anthony Johnson. Both men are mentioned in all these reports. Now, in one, Smith is considered the victim in that case. But in these two reports, he's actually listed as the suspect who allegedly pulled a gun out at a polling place. These three police reports paint two stories about what happened at the Dave Wells Community Center Monday afternoon. Thurston Smith says he was blindsided when Anthony Johnson, who worked for his campaign, threatened him.
I'd be more than willing to have a conversation with you. So But Johnson says he was the victim, not the suspect. In these two reports, Johnson, along with other witnesses, say this was an argument that ended with Smith pulling a gun on Johnson. And did he say anything when he had the gun pointed to you?
Anything but the barrel of the gun was pointed toward me and the other workers.
Johnson says the argument was over money. He says he was hired by Smith's campaign back in January as an early voting coordinator. Johnson says he hasn't been paid in months, and that's why he confronted Smith.
If you can't be honest, you be honest with the people in the district.
So I asked Smith about this contract.
You'll see that there's another party included in that contract. And that party was the first person to rescind from the agreement. That initial agreement that we established way back in January was between three parties.
Fox 13 obtained a copy of that contract, which is between Johnson and Smith's former campaign manager, Daryl Catron. At the bottom of the page is Smith's signature, dated January 2nd, 2019. I called Catron and he referred me back to the campaign. A new spokesperson said Catron left the campaign in June.
I had an agreement between me, Mr. Johnson, and Mr. Catron. But listen, I have to...
And actually, Mr. Smith, we also have gotten two police reports that mentioned that you had a gun yesterday during the incident.
Yeah, no.
And I also talked with the Election Commission about this incident. In a statement to Fox 13, you should see it on your screen, Shelby County Election Administrator Linda Phillips said, quote, "We were shocked when this inside the polling place. This has never happened before, and we hope it never happens again." Live in East Memphis tonight, Kirsten Garris.
Well, Thurston says, well, look, I got to run. Yes, you always running. That's all he's been doing is lying and running.
You know what? So here's what I heard, right? And on the back end of that story. Now, what they was that the contract, at least this is what Thurston's claiming, right? That the contract was not just between him and Anthony Johnson. It was between him, Anthony Johnson, and Mr. Catron, who used to be Thurston's campaign manager, left. And that's what Thurston's trying to say.
And there's other guy used to work for him too, right?
I know, but what I'm saying is, going back again, the contract was joint. What Thurston's saying. That it was a joint contract with Mr. Johnson and Mr. Catron together working. So what Thurston is saying, Mr. Catron dropped out of the campaign, that contract for both of them. Now, Mr. Johnson, it seems like, doesn't feel like that's the case. But I'm like this. Here's the thing. Even if that's true, what Thurston is saying, let's just guess that it's true.
Okay.
It doesn't matter if the guy was never paid since January.
Right.
Because June is a long way from January.
When he signed the contract with them.
In January.
But the guy never got paid.
Never got paid at all.
Okay,
according to him.
So voiding the contract late in the middle of the year, void you owe him money. For
the work that was done.
Absolutely.
So that's what it sounds like was going on here. And going forward, and now this is where you don't know what happened. Like, you had the two witnesses, which includes Anthony Johnson, and another witness filed police reports stating that Thurston pulled a gun and they saw it across the top of a car,
right,
pointed towards them. Now, how violent it was, he doesn't know, but Anthony Johnson said, looks like, he didn't say anything, but he just put the gun up there. And I can imagine him in the hood. Like, oh, like that. But hear me out. Just to finish what I'm saying. Place it on the hood, but just the implication of that is threatening.
It is.
You're silently saying, hey, chill out.
That's exactly what you...
Or I'll do something.
Or why would you set a gun on top of your car or point a gun...
Why?
Or point a gun at someone and saying, oh, well, it was just a joke. It wasn't. No, you don't point guns at people for
That's
jokes.
Not a joke.
It's evident in this city that people don't point their guns at jokes because too many people are getting killed by them.
Exactly.
Wanting to be a city councilman on the 7th district, and then to behave like a criminal, waving guns around, it's not going to help those people that are committing crimes out there because, this guy, he believes in guns. He believes in waving guns at people. He'll shoot you. So, I mean, you're not going to help that area, that part of that district by having done the things that you've done.
Yeah, exactly.
You need to clear that up, Thurston Smith, and I recommend that you come out publicly and that you apologize and that you let people know what you've done was wrong and ask people to forgive you for that. You don't just do something like that and then just say, okay, well, you people, you vote for me, don't vote for me. Well, coming out and apologizing for anything. I mean, so.
Well, and here's the thing.
It's sad for someone like that.
It is.
We need to stop in Memphis voting people in just because they're Democrats or whatever they are.
Or you know their name.
Or just because you know their name or just because they're black. Okay? We need to get that crap out
of you got to look at tendencies of a person. Shout out to GKP, and I was drinking from the cup as you can see my cup here.
Well, his cup is not red.
It's not red, it's blue.
So,
you know what I mean? But it's the same
blue.
type, yeah. There's the red right there. The red shout out. Big red.
Yeah.
And big blue over here.
But anyway.
But man, folks and their tendencies, you have to account for those things. And this is why, personally, I wouldn't be is true. The allegations that are being levied toward Thurston, because I've seen him get angry. I've heard him get angry. Mm-hmm. I've heard the way he acts over money.
Yes.
We both have.
Yes, we have.
In a personal situation that he was wrong about. So, let me tell you something. You're probably going to say the same thing I was going to say.
Yeah.
But as far as getting violent over money, he's willing to do that.
I know for a fact. And
even if he's in the wrong.
And then on top of that, Josh, he called what used to be my boss. He called this white man several times and kept calling him. And then this white man came back to me and said, hey, guess who called me? Thurston called me, and, blah, 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 and told me this and this and this and this. Every time you called him, Thurston, he came back to me and told me what you said.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Every single time. So, how can you trust someone like that?
Yeah. And this is all true, man. And
the 7th district, and they deserve Michael and
Easter
Thomas.
Yeah.
She's the candidate, and Charlie Harper. Sorry, Charlie Harper in Humboldt, Tennessee.
Yes.
But no, Charlie Caswell. Mm-hmm. He is a guy that I trust. And the candidate that he for is Michael and Easter Thomas.
Yes,
she just got married. Her last name is Thomas now, and so let's put her on your list and in your mind and in your notepad. So when you go to the polls, and Charlie, he'll be glad to talk with you about anything. And he's a 3B leader of Memphis, and plus among other things. We'll talk about him about another time. But 901-213-6020. You want to have a comment about something? You want to talk to us? We'll be glad to take your phone call. I'll be even glad, Josh, if Thurston Smith, somebody right now, if he's listening. I don't know if he's listening now or not, but if he's listening, or if somebody would be glad to contact him, we don't mind. Tell him, hey. Those people, they want to talk to you on the show. And here's the number, 901-213-6020. The phone lines are open, and we'll be glad to have him call. And
absolutely.
We'll
that would be mad interesting.
And, and he says he has calm conversations. Well, we'll see.
And see, the people like, man, y'all doing this and that. And the thing is, man, we go, don't pull any punches with folks. Voting for a candidate is a very important thing.
It is.
And I think the people deserve to know what a person's like. If you know, if you had personal experience and you see these allegations out there, people deserve to know what you've experienced with that person, and you can, determine for yourself whether you want to vote for that person or not.
Absolutely.
It just is what it is. And I'm not just for the sake of, I don't want to burn a bridge. Man, look, forget that bridge.
No, that bridge needs to be burned.
There wasn't a bridge. Yeah, exactly.
That bridge needs to be burnt, yes.
You know what I'm saying? So, and it ain't about nothing personal.
No, it's nothing personal.
It's not. It's just because it was a situation.
Yes.
I mean, people need to know, because this is who you vote for. You need to know their character. You need to know their characteristics and what you could potentially end up with in office. And I think that district and the city of Memphis as a whole deserves better than that.
It does. And the people of the 7th district deserve better than that. And they've been beat down by Berlin Boyd, and nothing has been accomplished. And that, I'm not saying he hasn't done anything, but he has.
The only thing, you know what?
His mind has not been focused on his district.
I was reading some things, and some Memphis Truth, is a website, some interesting stuff on there. From what they were reporting is that the only real thing Thurston's done was a dog park that's been put up. This is the only good thing he's done was that dog park that was put up out there. Dog park out there, Michelle, I know she was talking about.
Anybody know about a dog park in Fraser district that Berlin Board has signed off on and responsible for you guys having? I know you're excited about a dog park. Yes. Anybody know anything about that? Let me know.
I mean, it doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah.
Just like your mama. Yeah. How about that?
See, there he goes again, folks. He never quits.
Man.
Yeah. 901-213-6020. Hey, we've got another. We've got to get out of here.
Yes. Monday through Thursday every week, right here, 8 to 10 a.m. And yesterday.
Well, by the way, let me hit on our sponsors here right quick.
Yes.
We're talking about Tamara Henderson blood analysis.
Nutritional
blood analysis. Yes.
AKA
Tamara Henderson,
the microscopy.
Tamara Henderson's nutritional blood analysis. Folks, this is something, and as of a year or so ago, I've never heard of it.
Yeah.
Go in and from your finger,
one drop,
and analyze it no, she doesn't need to take several tubes of blood, okay? One drop of blood is all she'll do, and analyze it under her microscope, and then on a big high definition, she'll show it to you in your blood what's going on with you. If you've had problems, something you can't hands on, doctors don't have any answers for it, and they only take a blood test to take certain things, well, or two things, she'll show you everything. If there's something going on there, you'll be able to see it in your blood, and she'll explain it to you right there. That's Tamara Henderson's nutritional blood analysis.
And real quick, to throw in for you, site,
yeah,
which is on the screen right now. But also, if you have a problem or questions about your body, you wonder why you can't lose weight, you're wondering about your blood pressure, you're wondering about the supplements that you're taking, are they the right ones for me? Why am I sick all the time? All sorts of stuff like that. The blood analysis, with one drop of blood, she can look at it and tell you what you need to do and what's going on with you before the symptoms occur. So it's good to get out ahead of it before you end up sick.
And qualified and licensed.
Yes.
And an official sponsor right here, the Tamara Henderson's nutritional blood analysis, or micro calls it. And the website is
bloodislifecenter.com.
Bloodislifecenter.com. And the phone number
901-602-7063.
Give that number one more time.
901-602-7063.
All right, and we'll hit our other sponsors coming up in just a little bit. And Josh, in other news, we've been talking about the Tequila Haze situation. Several months now?
Yeah, going back. Last month is when it really started, because it wasn't reported until then.
Yeah.
But she's been missing quite a while before that. So,
got some information to share with you, some new information here.
Yes.
And
this came out yesterday. Crazy stuff. As we all know, a lot of people have been suspicious of the husband in the situation.
Well,
and according to the police,
now they're suspicious of the. Josh, this is the first time it's really come out that they've pointed some kind of finger toward the husband.
Yes, officially,
yeah. And they did this big search of her home not too long ago, and they found some things. And then what it was yesterday or day before, they went behind the wooded area by the house out there.
Yeah, and checked for several hours.
For several hours, a lot of with the K9 officers and lots of other foot officers out there, sheriff department, and all of that. Yeah.
But check this out, y'all. And this is the new information they're just releasing, but they had found this out the last time they searched in the home.
Right.
Some very disturbing things about her phone, the house. I'm going to let y'all hear it right now.
Listen to this, folks. This is very
telling.
Very telling and very disturbing concerning the husband. Take a listen to this, and it's a sad story. But, folks, take a listen. We'll be back. 901-213-6020.
We've been looking into the details of that warrant. We've uncovered that this case seems to have twists and turns. This is the home right behind me that investigators spent some 12 hours searching last month. Tonight, it's empty. Records show they started searching the home after their initial questioning of Tequila Hayes' husband turned up some answers that appears made them uneasy. An affidavit for a search warrant lays out a laundry list of items: firearms, ammunition, electronic devices, DNA, and any other evidence found at the home of Tequila and Carl Hayes, and Tequila's Honda Civic in the investigation of criminal homicide. A detective writes a case to a judge for why the search is needed in a missing persons report filed August 9th. Tequila's mother told them she hadn't seen her daughter for several months. When deputies questioned Carl about his wife's disappearance, he told them they had separated in June over infidelity issues, admitting to deputies he had accessed her cell phone, switched the SIM card, and impersonated her when speaking to people. He claimed he hadn't seen her since early June, and she left the home with a friend, leaving her phone and car behind. On the same day, August 9th, they noticed new carpet and paint throughout the house. Carl told detectives he had made the changes because the home was a rental. The lease was almost up, and he wanted to get his deposit back. Something else they noticed? None of Tequila's belongings were in the house. Carl said he got rid of her things. On August 12th, 3 days after the missing persons report was filed, Tequila's supervisor contacted investigators. Tequila is a nurse at Methodist. But was a no-show on May 21st. The supervisor said she attempted to contact Tequila, sending multiple text messages with no response. When she texted again, saying she would call police for a wellness check if Tequila did not respond, she finally got a call back. But not from Tequila. It was Carl on the other end of the line. She claims Carl told her Tequila wouldn't be returning to work, and when the supervisor asked multiple times to speak to his wife, he refused. Records. Video footage at multiple Regions Bank locations showed Carl withdrawing money from Tequila's accounts, including one for $800 on May 22nd, the day after she was a no-show for work. Investigators say more than $4,000 was taken from accounts. Ultimately, family and friends, statements from Carl, employer information, and bank records, they believe Carl Hayes was directly involved in the disappearance of Tequila Hayes sometime between May 21st and 22nd. And while Carl told his wife in June, leaving the home in a white car with an unknown friend, they believe that's not. Questions remaining tonight as we look into that search warrant. And Stephanie, something important I want to point out for you tonight. We asked a spokesperson with the sheriff's office about that wording that was used in the search warrant. Homicide, criminal homicide. All they would say is this is still an active missing persons case. They are asking for the public's help. And if you happen to know anything, they want you to call detectives at number 901-222-5600. We're live in Cordova tonight. Shay Arthur, WREG, News Channel 3.
All right. Thanks for that report. And look, Josh, this situation with this lady,
yes,
and her husband now, they're beginning to point some fingers toward him on certain things here, and it just doesn't look good. Mm-hmm. To me, the guy is guilty. He's guilty. It's all over the picture.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, the guy's guilty.
Definitely.
Now, where could she be? We don't know. New carpet was put in the home, new paint, the walls were repainted, and not only that, when they picked up her car, they discovered that the car had new carpeting in the car.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with that. That sounds very suspicious to me. I don't know about you folks, but to me, that sounds very, very suspicious. Your comments are coming in. We'll read those in just a minute. Josh, also, there was new carpet in the house, new carpet in the car, and then they tried to contact her phone.
Yeah.
And he had the Sims card changed in the phone.
Yes.
So they kept trying to contact her, and then they text back and said, well, if we don't hear from her, blah, blah, we're going to call the police. And at that point, I guess he got a little afraid, and he said he answered back and told them that she would not be coming back to work.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, why didn't her job hear from her personally if she wasn't coming back to work? So why? Because he knows they won't hear that from her because she's probably murdered or killed somewhere.
You know, and that's the sad thing about this whole thing.
Yeah.
You see the plotting that's done by this guy. You see the vindictiveness, and you see a record of lying.
Yeah.
And if you're there's certain things you're lying about, that he's lying about, is Those are only things you lie about if you killed somebody, to be perfectly honest. Where is she where she couldn't answer? Why are you replacing the rug in her car?
Mm-hmm.
What is that? That is very weird. So something went on in that car.
Yeah.
Probably. Something probably went on in the house. The reason you replaced the carpets in the house. Got the walls repainted.
Yeah, I'd like to hear, if we could, I'd like to find out who replaced the carpet. What carpet company replaced the carpet in that house?
That's a good question.
Took the old carpet up. What did they find? Or maybe did he do it on his own? Or
and see, that's a good question because if it was a company, let's say there was blood somewhere or something. You would ask some questions. Somebody,
or maybe he had the carpet cleaned,
maybe, and then replaced,
and then had it replaced for some reason, so that they wouldn't find any evidence or anything like that. I don't know, but I'd like to know if there was a company that put in that house. What company was it?
Yeah,
put it that way, because there may have been something that they may have seen when you pull the carpet up. You put new carpet, new padding, and all that kind of stuff. It
was very interesting, and just like the reporter on the news said, it was a great report they did.
Yeah,
reading about the homicide deal that was in the report, but still saying that they're treating this as a missing persons case.
Yeah,
I think they're just saying that now.
Well,
they don't want to put everything out there, and I think maybe it was unintentionally put out there that they're treating this like a homicide. But the police are still saying they're treating this publicly. They're saying they're treating this like a missing person. I think they don't want to tell their hand too much.
Yeah.
But a lot of their hand has already been told. And I don't know where Carl Hayes is because they said the house is empty now.
Yeah, but
they must know where he is.
He can't go anywhere, I don't think. But yeah. Jay says, we know what's going on with that, Bob. Old Carl done been found out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I agree. And, it's man, hopefully this comes is.
Yeah.
I think they just want to be sure they have all their dots crossed. When it comes to arresting him.
I'm kind of curious if they find a body, if they find her somewhere, would they tell us right away, or would they wait a couple of days and find out with the evidence before saying? And then is it possible that they would do something like that?
Yeah. I'm not sure about that. I think, to be honest with you, maybe it's just me, but I think if they may be waiting on finding the body before they charge him.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That may be the only thing they're waiting on. They just want to see where it is. But sometimes they can still finding it, I would imagine.
Well, you would, but having the
body is a lot easier.
Evidence there.
Yeah, it makes it a lot easier.
It makes it easier, and they can go at that case and be done with it. And I agree with you, Jay. I believe he's going to jail. He's get ready for that, and get himself together for another life. And 901-213-6020. Something else I got here, Josh, says that he says she's not coming back to work. Then there's no activity from her at all. From her since she's been gone. All the activity and the conversation that has come from that it's been coming. So and why would he have to speak for her? And that's strange. He said an unknown friend up in a white car. What is an unknown friend? I mean, if she's a friend, how did you know it was a friend?
Exactly. See, that's why I'm like
unknown friend. If a person is unknown to you, how do you know it's a friend?
Exactly.
It doesn't make sense.
Plus the fact that, she left all her stuff, her purse, her phone, her car, everything.
Yeah.
That just doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But y'all keep leaving the comments. Jay, right after the one you just read, Jay says, hopefully they're not going to wait 7 years like they did with Cheryl Wright. Get him now.
Yeah.
I
absolutely.
agree. That's a great point.
That's a great point. I agree.
Terry says, it's like a quote from the story with Channel 3, which is what we it was a search warrant that WREG investigators believe that Hayes was directly involved in the disappearance of his wife Tequila Hayes sometime between May 21st and May 22nd. That's what you're saying, Terry, is correct, and that's just what Bob was referencing, especially about the car and the friend there.
Yeah.
How Carl Hayes, which we played in the audio a minute ago, was even pretended to be her on the phone.
Yeah.
A few times with Methodist.
Isn't that something?
Said, okay, she's not coming back.
She's not coming back to work. And, well, if anybody knows, he knows.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
it's a shame.
This is a shame. And, Tequila is her name. Tequila, yes. Yeah. Terry Love, Carl allegedly said Tequila had left the home.
That's what I was saying, what she was just talking about.
Yeah.
And that's from the story. That's right.
Right.
So, hey, and now I know we got a few minutes left.
Yes.
I want to get this last thing in because once again, it's the last show of this week.
Right.
And this is something we didn't have down, but this happened yesterday. Big breaking news. I know what we're talking about.
But if you still want to call folks on any of the topics we talked about, free to call and comment. Yeah, go ahead, John.
So this was the deputies. 2 deputies were shot.
Oh, yes.
And also the suspect was killed in a crazy situation. A lot of questions surrounding this. I've heard different things from different sides of the story.
Right.
I want to play this clip I have from the story, and then I want to get you guys' thoughts on what happened here.
Oh, this was weird.
A weird shootout that came out of
South
nowhere.
Memphis, yeah. And
now, before the shootout happened, it sounded like that they had the house surrounded by I don't know if they said the gang unit or something. The house was surrounded by like 30 plus cops.
Well, there were 2 cops that went to the house to serve a warrant.
Yeah.
And they went in, and then it's a mobile home park. But
here it is.
Yeah, let's take a listen to the story, and then we'll be for your phone calls. You want to make a phone call, 901-213-6020. We got a few minutes left. We got enough time left in the show to this particular topic. Take a listen to this, what happened yesterday in the breaking news.
Right now, the TVI is on the scene of an officer-involved shooting in South Memphis. One Shelby County deputy was shot as many as 6 times. His bulletproof vest took most of the bullets, and he may not even need surgery. Thanks for joining us. I'm Richard Ransom.
And I'm Katina Rankin. Now, another deputy was bitten by a dog. But tonight, not much new is known about the suspect that was shot and killed. We know the gun battle broke out in the 1200 block of Haven Circle. That's a private mobile home park near Elvis Presley Boulevard, just north of the Loop.
Local 24 News got this Facebook video of the scene and shooting. Someone visited away from where the bullets flew, took this video as law enforcement in. You can see unmarked vehicles surrounding the trailer next door. The shots you're about to hear start out faint at first until officers fire back.
They shoot. They shoot. They shooting, fool. They shooting.
Deputies say it's the latest example of how serving warrants is one of the most dangerous things they do. And Local 24 News has live team coverage tonight. Rudy Williams at Regional 1, where doctors treated the deputies.
That's right, but let's start with Rebecca Butcher in South Memphis. And Rebecca, is the
Well, right now, TBI, they have left the scene. A spokesperson that we spoke with earlier, I can tell you right now, it looks like they're wrapping up the scene here. They're unblocking part of the street on Hernando near the trailer of where this all went down. Now, this happened earlier today around 3. Deputies entered her home trying to serve a warrant on a suspect. I did speak to a woman off camera who knew that suspect. She says that he was a heavy drug user. This face afternoon's gunfight between law enforcement officers and the unidentified suspect. Shelby County deputies were serving a warrant for an unknown felony inside one of the trailer homes. More than 20 rounds were fired.
Gunfire occurred. Our deputy was critically wounded, the second deputy injured, and the suspect was fatally wounded.
Multiple agencies and undercover law enforcement officers surrounded the scene, placing up barriers. Neighbors were evacuated and investigators gathered evidence.
I heard my maintenance guy telling everybody to get down and get in the house, and I'm standing on my neighbor's porch. Next thing I hear, as soon as that leaves his mouth, maybe 5-6 gunshots were let off.
Relatives of the dead suspect briefly spoke to me off camera, very upset and wanting to know more details. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation has and serving the warrant before the bullets flew.
Gang unit comprised of deputies with the Shelby County Sheriff's Office and officers with the Memphis Police Department arrived at a home in the 1200 block of Haven Circle after receiving information that an individual wanted on felony warrants was at this location.
So far, the TBI isn't saying what the suspect was wanted for or if others were in the house. Deputies say their focus now is on 2 of their own who came within an inch of death.
We need the community to pray for our law enforcement. Deputy is being treated now at Regional 1 Hospital.
TBI says they'll be able to finally release the name of this suspect who was in that home and is now dead after all of family and kin, they're notified. Right now, I can tell you that same woman that I spoke to off camera earlier today says this man, the suspect, goes by Henry's. Had a, quote, good heart, but did get into some trouble. Of course, stay with us as we learn more of the situation. For now, reporting live tonight in South Memphis, I'm Rebecca Butcher, Local 24 News.
Okay, Rebecca, thank you so much. Let's head over to Regional 1 where the deputies were actually taken.
Yeah, Local 24 News anchor Rudy Williams is there for us. And Rudy, as always, you know, the men and women in blue show South.
You're listening to Talkback Live radio show, and we're playing the audio of the shooting yesterday between the Shelby County Sheriff and the suspect that was shot and killed. And we'll talk about that just a little bit more when you come back from this.
Just take a look at the video here. The Shelby County Sheriff's Office PI told me just a little bit more than an hour ago that the deputy who was shot earlier and rushed here by personal vehicle was downgraded to non-critical condition. It's still unclear if that deputy will require surgery for gunshot wounds to his arm and leg. Now, earlier, top officers reported that he was sitting up and talking and doing fine. That other officer, wounded but not by gunfire, believed to have been bitten by a dog, has been released. Now, neither deputy has been identified by the sheriff's office. Now, earlier today, SCSO noted how many officers were here in response to the shooting and the injury of that other officer. It was one of the largest for the 2 deputies injured in today's incident. Listen to what they had to say.
Shelby County and our surrounding areas right now, we have a great working relationship. Chief South Haven Police Department is here as well, Sheriff Rasco. We've received calls from Tipton County Sheriff's Office as well. And we all have a great working relationship. When one of ours is hurt, all of ours are hurt.
Yeah, Katina and Richard, the scene is much quieter once again here tonight. In my experience in doing these sorts of stories, we oftentimes see plenty of officers that come out, which of their law enforcement brethren have been injured in the duty, but they're here to show support for them. Once again, that played out today here in downtown Memphis. Reporting live from the Medical District, I'm Rudy Williams.
There you have it, folks. Any comments or phone calls you want to make now? 901-21.
I know that was quite an extensive story.
Oh,
and then
man,
the fact that, I mean, it was a lot going on involved in the situation. What's interesting, and it kind of goes with what Terry is saying and asking questions.
Yeah.
What I've noticed around Memphis and Shelby County, when it comes to the police or sheriffs or anything like that, the more situations that tend to happen like this, it shows how little the people of this area, though. But I have seen some, the increasing number in this area with distrust toward the police, distrust toward Director Rowland, with the Memphis system, and sheriff. People just don't seem to trust anything that they have going on.
Okay.
And we got a call. Go ahead.
Yeah, Michelle, welcome to the show. Good morning on a Thursday.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Wonderful, great show, guys. Clarify one thing, and then you're welcome, and then let you get on to your deputy thing. The dog park for Berlin Boyd was in downtown, in the Hyde Park area, where his richest district is.
Oh, really?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So that's all. Yeah, just a little tidbit. I just wanted to clarify you, and want to let you get back to the. But
no, that's okay. We're talking all whatever too along with that, okay. But that's very interesting, Michelle. Wow.
Yeah,
so it's not surprising.
He does work for his but he works for his wealthy constituent. Yes,
that sounds about right.
Indeed. So, did you get to? Go ahead.
Do you know anything about this dog park? How, what is
not
it?
Not a thing, except that he lobbied for it, and it was just like the FedEx deal. It went through quickly. There was nothing like the library and everything that had the feet dragging, and it waited forever. And the area residents pushed for it, not him.
Oh, so this was something they wanted, and so his rich constituent. And so he made it happen for them.
Exactly.
Wow. Okay.
And I want to mention one other thing.
Sure.
I am personally not in District 7, but back in 2015, and I was listening to Pastor Caswell, and he is so true about everything he says about Michaelin and how wonderful she is. She is definitely my choice, and if I could vote there, I would, and I also encourage people to do so. But I wanted to say that I do go to all District 7 meetings simply because I love to annoy Berlin Boyd and call him out on his misconceptions and the lies that he tells. And at one particular meeting, and this is just last September, the Douglas meeting, a little old, I don't want to say little old lady, but a seasoned, as Charlie says, lady, over on my left says to me, I want to know about this email that I wrote to you. And he said, oh, I must have never received it. I answer every email. And she and about 5 other women held up folders that I personally saw of emails that he had not answered, his assistant hadn't answered. I won't put the total blame on him. I have personally witnessed.
Right. Okay. Wow. Yeah, I saw that earlier in the comment that you had made earlier on that, and wow. So hey, we appreciate.
So if you don't answer your constituents, from a particular. Smoky City, Douglas, blah, 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 blah. Are you actually answering the ones from downtown and midtown?
Yeah. So that's the only thing he's concerned about. And figure that the other people in the other district. So
the thing is, man, we need guys, people in office that care about everybody. That need it the most.
The least of us. Exactly.
Absolutely. So, Michelle, I appreciate your contribution to the show. the past few
Absolutely,
days?
I've got lots more about the city that I can share with you.
Awesome.
And I'll do that in private message, so you could decide whether it's worthwhile or not.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, thanks, Michelle, for all you do.
My pleasure.
Okay.
My pleasure.
All right.
Bye.
Okay, 901-213-6020 if you want to get in real quickly on
the conversation.
If you want to get in on the conversation this morning as well before we leave, we may extend just a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We can do that.
We may extend a little bit. I made the decision, Josh. We're going to extend our show just a little bit here to talk about a little bit more of this. Yes.
So I'm going to throw that back to what we with these deputies. Now,
yes.
What do y'all think about the distrust that seems to be happening with the citizens of Memphis and the police department and the sheriff's department? Because it seems to be a thing that is consistently happening now. Even with this situation,
is it really with the sheriff department or just the police department?
Well, mainly the police, but even with this, right? People are questioning this was involved with sheriff's officers, as well. So people are like, man, they don't trust anything.
But the sheriffs were only doing what they do, serve warrants.
I know.
Yeah,
I know, but I mean, people are thinking about that. They're like, man, this seems like a cover up. Is what they feel. All right, what we got?
Jet Lucas.
Jet, welcome to the show. Good morning on a Thursday.
Good morning, guys.
How are you?
What's happening?
I'm doing all right this morning. I just felt that I needed to call in this morning regarding the shows, the news from last night and that kind of thing.
Yes, sir.
And I'll talk about the deputies and the distrust real quick first.
Yes, sir.
And just quickly on that, I guess I'm not going to mention why the distrust, but I just wanted to note that you can hear the distrust even in those guys' voice who were in the video. You can clearly hear it. After they cut it off, but they went into Little White Boys Reload. They went right to what the deputies were doing. Right during the shooting, they went right to what the deputies were doing. And it wasn't that they weren't fearful. They were like, "Oh, get down, man! They shooting, get down!" Little White Boys Reload. They went right to. That's some clear distrust right there. Clear.
100%.
It's not just because those guys are criminals, thugs, or whatever. Those are some clear, ingrained distrust from somewhere. I won't say that the deputies earned it, did it, or whatever, but you can plainly see that it is there, even in that video. I wish they let it play longer. I like to hear the commentary from those guys. Because that was real organic.
Right.
And you don't often get to see that. And some you get to see like in a combat zone or something, to hear people talking under fire, right? I thought that was pretty incredible. It was almost sad at the same time, but almost journalistically
compelling,
artistic in a because it's just that organic, to hear that you guys talk about the distrust and then to actually hear that distrust in that video at that moment. I don't think they knew what that guy was about that he was in there serving a warrant for or anything. They just went right to what the police were doing and their behavior. That was interesting to me. But what I called in for is I really had to address the Thurston situation, just because I'm vocal about everything else, so why would I shy away from that? And I did type a long comment on the thread. And for some reason, every so often, the video feed was on my phone. I don't know if it's just my phone. It would just shut off. Then I have to go click. It says video stop playing. I click OK. Then I go back into it, and it starts over from almost the beginning, but then it quickly catches up to you guys.
Right.
So, but when that happened, there's no way I was going to retype all that again. So I was like, well, I got to call in because I got to say something on it. I think I'm hiding from this at all. Now, what I will say is there are two stories. There are two police reports there. And I wasn't there when that happened, so I don't know what happened, right? But what I will say, and I can understand where you guys come from, because you come from personal experience. So you said by the evidence, I can see this happening, right? So I get that. But also where I am is that there are two stories there, two different sides of the story. To that is what I know for a fact, even without knowing how the law would happen. Thurston said he didn't admit to pulling a gun. He left that on the table, right? But what he did say was that was a contract between Catron, myself, and this gentleman.
Yes.
Right? And then the news showed the contract.
Yeah.
Based on that information alone, that's the only thing I'm going to speak to, because that's what he admitted to, right? And that, based on that information alone, then I got to go with my opinion until the law says otherwise.
Yeah.
And my opinion on that is, I don't know what happened, how it happened, or whatever, but that guy had every right in the world to demand his money for Thurston, because he's not working for Dad. For Thurston's campaign.
Exactly.
And Thurston is the only guy left. Catron is long gone, right?
Yeah.
So he knows where to find Thurston at his campaign sites, right? So that's all I got to say on that is that part of it. I don't think the guy was wrong in demanding his money. He did nothing wrong there. To see what actually happens, and I have my. I am where I am
Hey, look,
right now.
And I'm going to tell you real quick, man, this is why, this is so important, I think, for shows like we have here. I mean, we can honestly dialogue, man, just like Bob invited Thurston. If you want to call, he can.
Yeah.
Despite what we're saying, I mean, it's all about being real at the end of the day. And
I mean, I can have a calm conversation.
Well, there you go. Off what was said, and I'm like this, man. I agree with you, and that's why I was trying to lay out there was the fact that I wanted to, no matter what the situation, I want to try to establish the truths, falsehoods, and what has actually been reported. And just like you said, like when you look at that contract, it doesn't matter if Mr. Catron pulled out in June. If you work from that, essentially states, according to Thurston, he said that Catron pulled out. Then they reported that Catron did pull out in June. So if Thurston's basing not paying this guy off of the guy pulling out in June, that's not Anthony Johnson. That doesn't matter because he worked from July to June for you. Yeah. So that's a lot of time. And he didn't necessarily dispute that point either, being Thurston. So that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, his point to that was he had a contract between me, somebody else, and somebody else. Yeah. So the contract is void. What about that?
Yeah,
right.
I don't know what the law is going to say about that, but I do know if it were me, I would be looking for Thurston to pay me my money and not Catron, because that's who I'm working for, his campaign.
Right.
Yeah, Catron may be the guy who brought me in to work on it, but I'm working for his campaign. And as for me, somebody made a comment yesterday, hope I get paid for that. I'm volunteering my time and services to someone who I looked at his background and record as being better than most mayor's candidates'
I get that.
experiences. So I wouldn't even ask to get paid for something like that unless I was doing a job. Supposed to get paid, he has every right to ask for his money and seek out his money and whatever. So
now, and I'm going to read here, maybe when you get on, or maybe now, depends on what Bob wants to do. Lloyd Brown, who is the communications guy for Thurston's campaign, has commented on the thread here on some of this. And,
I saw that. I was trying to find the comment.
It's let me see. It's kind of long. I'm trying to scroll through. Let's see. Okay.
I saw Ferguson replying to Lloyd, but I didn't see Lloyd's comment. And Nolan is somebody who's actually harassed Lloyd over the period in a real harassment. But go ahead and read that comment.
I have seen some history in different groups. But I'm looking here.
Wow, that's a lot to read. We would be glad to have Lloyd Brown call in and tell us this. We've extended here this morning.
Let me get off the line and hear what he says about this.
Yeah, this is quite long. I'm pretty sure we'd be glad to hear what he had to say. Jet, as always, man, thanks for the call.
Appreciate you guys. But let me say this. I do know sometimes the way the news can position so real until you start digging into it and get down to it. But we'll see.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Hey, thanks.
All right, thank you.
All right, 901-213-6020. 901-213-6020. on our extended edition of Talk Back Live, and because of all of the big news that's going on, Lord Brown, I really respect him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, I've never had a problem with Lloyd at all. He's a gentleman, even though he doesn't agree with me sometimes, but it's just the way he approaches it and talks about it.
Respect.
And, man, I really respect it. If I disagreed on some things with him and he was running for, man, just out of the character and the mattered and respectable man that he is, I would probably just vote for him anyway. That's how much respect I have for Lord Brown. But he said some things here. Josh, you want to start reading a little bit?
Yeah.
And we'd be glad to have him call. Let's see if we can take this down.
Call from
Greg, welcome to the show. Good morning on a Thursday, our extended edition.
Good morning.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, gentlemen. How are you all?
Good morning to you. And how about yourself?
I'm good. I'm doing good, man. It's going to be a lot cooler today. It's going to be 95, not 99.
Thanks a lot, Greg.
Well, Greg, on this show, hey, Greg, on the show this morning, it's been about 200 degrees. So.
It's on fire. But it's all good. But look, man, let me jump into the distrust thing, right?
Yeah.
It stems from history. As far as our history, as far as black people with, the way we were policed back in the day, even through just policemen, through the judicial system itself. Now, some of it is ignorance. A lot of times people, they want to believe what they want to believe. They ain't looking for nothing else.
Okay.
Some of it's personal experience, and that personal experience, causes them to, think one way, and that's it. I mean, I've had my bad run-ins with police officers, Some of it is just our intrinsic need to know the truth, And a lot of times when you're dealing with police officers, you're not going to get all the information. You're just not.
Oh, definitely not. Yeah.
Either that's by design, or sometimes police are reluctant.
Yeah, you're in and out there, Greg. Maybe
you were good for a minute.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe I think it's.
I'll give you an example.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you an example for myself, right?
Okay, so you went out there for a while.
For about 30 seconds.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but you good.
I'm sorry.
You good now? Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm gonna tell you something that I know from personal experience, right? When it comes to possibly the police. There was a young man that I met some years ago, right? Didn't bother nobody. He was drunk all the time, but he was real nice. He wasn't one of those violent drunks. He was just nice. He would come and talk your ear off. That was about the worst he would do.
Okay.
Right. So one day there was some type of altercation at the house he lived in. So when the police came, and he ended up getting beat down. Right?
Yeah.
And everybody was confused. How did this? What happened? And no information was really ever family. Right? Now, there were some witnesses that finally came forward. Subsequently, this guy had a lawsuit against the city, right? Against the police department and the city. Looked like he was going to win. Well, next thing I know, I never saw the guy again, right? And, I ain't going to say we were just boys, but he would stop by my house, 3 or 4 times a week and just talk my head off, drunk most of the time.
Yeah.
But, so, I don't know, I don't remember, this was back in about 08, 09, they found a body hanging from a bridge over Lucihatchee River.
Wow.
Well, that was him.
Wow.
Well, that was him.
Wow.
And I never knew it. I never knew that was him for years. I didn't know that was him for years.
Really?
And then and there was never any suspect. There was never any, as far as I know, that it's still open. It's a cold case now.
Wow.
Now, did his pending lawsuit against the city that he looked like he was going to win have something to do with that?
Yeah, that's
makes
you wonder.
Interesting point.
Right. So, that could lead to some distrust from his family, even from me, people that knew the guy, because something like that should never have happened to him.
I agree.
You just couldn't. I mean, the guy didn't bother nobody. It wasn't one of those situations where this guy is he's been breaking in everybody else's house but his boy. Now, if something happens to his boy, if something happens to him, now his boy mad at everybody because he ain't bothering nobody, even though he was breaking in everybody else's house but his. But this wasn't one of those situations.
Yeah.
But see, that comes into play too, as far as the distrust, because people, just like I said, they know this dude done broke in Miss Hattie Mae's house.
Okay.
He done broke in Willie Lee's house. He done broke in everybody else's house but his. But to him, he's a good guy.
Okay. Hey, Greg, we got another call coming, man. We appreciate your comment.
That's some interesting stuff, though.
I just say this. Even truth is still a matter of opinion.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Greg, thanks.
All right.
All right, go ahead.
Good morning. How you doing?
Good. Now you're on now. We hear him. So go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
You're breaking up. I can't hear you.
Welcome to the show. Good morning on a Thursday.
Oh, you're on the show today. Okay. Well, look, call me back when you can.
Oh, okay. That was a regular phone call. Okay, gotcha.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha. Okay,
right.
We'll call you back.
That was. Okay, anyway.
I know. It
okay,
matter.
Okay,
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, 901-213-6020, and and if you want to get in on the conversation, you can call us now. The phone line is open. It's clear. And talking about Josh, this note here from Lloyd Brown. He's going to call in, but he left us a message.
Now I think from what I'm getting from this is I don't think he's been listening to most of what was said, just based on some of what he was writing here.
Right.
But I'm sure he heard about. Read some of it here. Unfortunate. It's from Lloyd Brown, who works with Thurston Smith's campaign.
Yeah.
He says, unfortunate that so much being said is false. And these calls from Michael and Thomas, a clue about this woman. They don't care.
Wow.
Foolishly backing boy too, because bought and sold muckety mucks are dangling the cords of the puppet. What role has Thomas? Oh man, we agree with that as far. What role has Thomas played in a school that twice lost its charter for having students serve as janitorial staff and having students serve in teacher roles?
He's asking the question.
Good grief!
She was a teacher there,
wasn't she?
Wasn't she?
I got it. And that's if that's true, that's interesting. Also says, why was Thomas holding late night secret meetings with members of the Strickland team that was crafting plans for gentrification of the very people her nonprofit was claiming to protect? What role did Thomas play in getting city zoning approval for the building of a school by her church on Chelsea that previously had its own charter taken twice? See above, which is what he was talking about, a school that will serve children of District 7. And what has this nonprofit done? Name one single thing other than serve as a conduit to gather information of North Memphis. Yet people are taking lies and distorted information, drawing wrong-headed conclusions, and never once questioned the threats made. Maybe I should post the voicemail to Thurston's campaign treasurer demanding money in exchange for the allegation and witnesses going away. You folks then might realize how smoke has been blown up your butts by these misguided and foolish surrogates of Thomas. So, it sounds like what Lloyd is saying is that, and Anthony Brown, this is according to Lloyd Brown again, left a threatening voicemail. And it sounds like the interesting thing about it that I'm noticing, Bob, that the voicemail he's talking about here, I'm going to go back to that again. Maybe I should, this is a quote from Lloyd Brown, maybe I should post a voicemail to Thurston's campaign treasurer demanding money, quote, in exchange for allegation and witnesses going away. So what that means is allegedly, I guess he's saying Anthony Brown is leaving a voicemail to them saying that you do this to make these allegations and witnesses that I have against you in this case of allegedly drawing a gun on me go away. Now, what's interesting in all of this that I read, right? And for y'all to hear this, is that I did not hear a denial that a gun was pulled.
Yeah.
I did not hear a denial about not paying him, Mr. Anthony Johnson. I heard a very well articulated post that brought up a lot of stuff about Miss Michael Lynn Thomas, which I don't know because I don't know her. Now, I'm not saying I'm endorsing her, or anything. No, Charlie is. I'm not knocking anybody that does, but I don't know anything about her. But what I do know is that despite it could be true, I'm not going to call Lloyd a liar, but in all of that stuff, he did not deny the fact that Thurston drew a gun. He did not deny the fact that Mr. Johnson was not paid for his services that were rendered.
Right.
And
well, that's what we were talking about. That's what we wanted to hear.
And that's the point. And also, last point that I'm going to make, you can't deny the fact that an agreement was reached. You know why? Because we just saw on the news that contract with those two people. So all I need to know is the fact that Anthony Johnson said he was not paid. Thurston has not denied that he wasn't paid. As a matter of fact, Thurston used an excuse of another guy quitting as an excuse not to pay the man. Well, so what we know from both sides of the story is that it sounds like Thurston is refusing to pay Anthony Johnson for whatever reason, and Anthony Johnson is not having any of it.
Get back on here and explain some of the stuff that you were talking about.
Yeah.
He didn't say anything about the gun. He didn't say anything about the.
And I'm not knocking Lloyd.
I'm not knocking Lloyd.
Because
I'm knocking
he's
him,
probably saying some true stuff about Ms. Michael and Thomas.
Maybe,
I don't know.
But also the stuff that we were talking about this morning.
That's all we were
We'd
saying.
like to hear what you had to say, if you would, about the other situation, the gun and all the other stuff.
Yeah.
That is it true or is it false? Is it what or whatever? Even though you may be saying people are blowing smoke up our butts, but we don't let people get that deep with us to do anything like that. But the thing about it that remains is, if you have a conversation about something, and I respect you, but at the same time, we'd like to hear on what the things that we were talking about, the constituents that have been listening, and some of the other things that have been said. Is it true or is it not true about the gun? What the news is reporting. Is it a lie or is it the truth? That's what we want to hear. Fergus Nolan, why is Thurston Smith so sensitive about being asked about the circumstances to his hurried departure from the VA? I heard about that in a sense, but talk to me a little bit more about that. I think he was laid off or dismissed or something from the VA. He no longer was there.
I don't know the details. I know Fergus is the stuff from what I've kind of seen in the periphery on Facebook. So, but hey, if you got some information, you can put it out there. Just like Mr. Lloyd Brown, just like Thurston, just like anybody has the right to put information out there,
right?
That you feel needs to be known. But man, never had. I've always been cool with Lloyd about every action I've ever with him. Real intelligent. But
he's a professor.
Yeah, professor. And drank a lot of coffee too from back when because it's his trap. I don't think it could get much worse than what he's done in his reign at District 7. But like I said, man, all I know is with this situation, it just doesn't look good. By the fact that I could see Thurston doing such a thing, and it wouldn't surprise me. And based on all the evidence that's been stated and my paying attention, Thurston didn't deny not paying the guy. He gave a reason for not paying him. Now, whether it's legit or not, to me, not legit. But I guess people, and if it's true, would want to elect.
Yeah. Well, some of the things we've been saying, and hopefully I can go out and Thurston won't pull a gun on me. but anyway.
Well, I already know. Well, he didn't pull a gun, but I know he's upset enough to fight him.
He wants the type of guy to fight.
Like literally, y'all think we make it? He literally
wanted to fight me, and I
heard the phone call.
Oh yes, and it got to the point.
It was out of the blue too.
Out there one time, he wanted to, and man, I got to. All right, if this man swings on me, I will bless him out real good.
Lay hands
with my the
hands
and the faculties that the Lord has blessed. Oh, but at any rate,
y'all don't know what Bob's trying.
Yeah,
I get it. I'm not even joking about that. Don't be shocked either.
All right. 136020. Before we leave today, if we get one more call in, if you would like to, we'd be glad to talk with you. But that's going to do it for us today.
Yeah,
Josh. I guess anybody else don't have anything else to say. Learning is a phone call, that is, and but Jet said I wasn't. What did he say there? I was going to get into that stuff.
That's what I'm about.
Yeah,
I don't tear sisters down in public, meaning black women. People.
Right, you're right. Oh, I didn't comment on that either, but the way he her, man, that was.
Look, I'm like this.
Well, she's in the race, so
that's what I said. Same thing I say. Look,
yeah,
because I don't know her, but I'm like this. If you're in a race, that stuff's gonna happen. So I'm not gonna, whether it's a man or a woman, I'm not gonna sit here and feel sorry for you because somebody's talking about you.
Yeah, because she's a female.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you're in a race.
Yeah,
as men and women, it's going down.
Greg, you need to repent. No, I'm just kidding. All right, Greg says Bob was a lover, not a fighter. Yeah, I got some love for you. Oh, bless him out.
Lloyd is back. Okay, let's see. Lloyd said, Josh, the campaign did not have an agreement with Mr. Johnson. Okay. You will see it calls for the third party to pay Mr. Johnson as a subcontractor, okay? Thurston is a concealed carry permit holder and has a right to carry. The gun in question never left his car and was not aimed at anyone. Just review the response to what we were saying there, and things of that nature. So we'll see, man, but it's an interesting situation. And what we do know is I'm sure that it's going to continue the investigation going forward. And we'll see what happens in the wash.
Yeah.
But hey.
But all I know is we don't need candidates running for office to be coming into office being investigated and and all that kind of stuff. But that shows me that probably when they get in office, there'll be some investigation going on, or that will need to go on. But like I said, folks, we appreciate all you. All know Bob got a little gangster in it. I'm not gonna tell you who said that, okay?
Y'all see it.
Y'all know who it is. Yeah.
Hey, look.
Y'all already know who it is. Yeah.
All I know is y'all don't want to know.
Yeah.
Because it takes a lot. Because, my dad is very patient with folks. But if the right buttons are pushed, watch out.
Yeah.
You will not be able to hold it back whatsoever.
Yeah.
So, and I feel like that's with anybody. If buttons are pushed, but I'm just saying, ain't nothing wrong with that.
Well,
either.
I'll
a certain level of disrespect.
I'll protect myself now. If you push me in the corner, I'll protect myself. But then, I'll do what I have to do, and then I'll pray for you after the fact. But at any rate, all right, Josh.
Already.
Yeah. Hey, that's gonna do it for us today, and thank you for joining our extended version of Talk Back Live with Bob
and John.
And it is now 10:27, 27 minutes past the hour, 10 o'clock Central Time. A very pleasant good morning to you on a Thursday, and thanks for joining us today. And we'll be back again on Monday for another edition of Talk Back Live with Bob and Josh. But stay tuned. We may have some other programming.
Yes.
Available.
Matter of fact,
I'm
going to be back. I'm going to be back later. Talk Back Live Sports. So y'all stay tuned for that. A lot of stuff going on in the sports world, man. I can't wait to dive into today. Colin Kaepernick. He's back.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk about that and what's it going to take for him to get a job in the league. Or is that over with? Also, some more stuff I'm going to get into, man. My goodness. Plus, scheduled guests joining me around 3:40. Isaac Simpson. Talk about the NFL, preview some games. Talk a little Tiger football. Some big injuries occurred this week for Tiger football. How's that going to affect the rest of the season? We're going to talk about that and more coming up later on. 2 to 3. Talk Back Live Sports.
The Tigers don't play this Saturday, do they? They play Thursday.
They play next Thursday.
Next Thursday. And they play who?
Navy.
That's the big game. That's the big game. All right, folks. Hey, have a wonderful, wonderful weekend for me. I don't know. I may be back with some Bible teaching stuff. You'll never know. On Facebook and other. Thanks for joining us today. Have a wonderful day and a wonderful weekend. If I don't talk to you anymore,
Are you tired of going to the doctor with the same issue over and over again and never getting any relief? Are you tired of buying all types of vitamins and supplements, hoping but not knowing for sure that they will keep you healthy? Or are you getting enough of the right kind of nutrients that your specific body needs? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you need a nutritional blood analysis. With a nutritional blood analysis, we can take one drop of blood from a prick of your finger and analyze your body's nutritional needs, nutritional deficiencies, and nutritional imbalances. This analysis can provide an early warning of possible future health challenges so you can make the changes now to avoid the negative outcome. A nutritional blood analysis can be used to monitor a health challenge before and after adopting an approach to restore health and balance. It will also allow you the ability to determine the effectiveness of various approaches to restoring and balancing your health. So don't wait. Make your appointment. Stop guessing with your health. Know what works for sure. 901-602-7063.
Graphic Printing, located at 890 East Range Road in Memphis, a complete print shop for all your printing needs. They do it all: color copy, resumes, funeral programs, rubber stamps, full color business cards, wedding and graduation invitations, and more. 30 plus years of quality work and service. They're open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Located at 890 East Range Road in Memphis, Tennessee, 901-345-9294. Graphic Printing.
CJ Used Appliances, located at 3530 Jackson Avenue here in Memphis, Tennessee. Call them at 901-487-7882. CJ Used Appliances has the best prices in town, sales and service, heating and air. Also the best appliances you'll find anywhere in the Mid-South. Refrigerators, microwave stoves, washers and dryers, deep freezers, dishwashers, whatever you need in used appliances. And folks, I'll tell you, they're the best used appliances anywhere you'll find. That's CJ Used Appliances, 3530 Jackson Avenue. All appliances come with warranty. You can call them at 901-487-7882. Again, 901-487-7882. CJ Used Appliances. C&S Motors Auto Sales, located at 2508 Summer Avenue, here in Memphis, Tennessee. Call them at 901-323-8778. C&S Motors Auto Sales has been around since 1984. Go by and see Chris today for some of the best pre-owned and used vehicles in the city. They have SUVs, minivans, cars, trucks, whatever you're looking for in pre-owned used vehicles. Hey, you can find it right there at C&S Motors Auto Sales. See Chris since 1984. They will treat you right. Call them at 901-323-8778. That's 901-323-8778. 2508 Summer Avenue, C&S Motors Auto Sales.
This is Sergeant Chris Richardson with the Tennessee Highway Patrol, here to explain the Tennessee Hands-Free Law, which is a new state law effective July 1st, 2019. In Public Chapter 412, it makes it illegal for a driver to hold a cell phone or a mobile device with any part of their body, to write, send, or read any text-based communication, to reach for a cell phone or mobile device in a manner that requires the driver to no longer be in a seated driving position or properly restrained by a seatbelt, to watch a video or a movie on a cell phone or a mobile device, and to record or broadcast video on a cell phone or mobile device. So, can I still talk on my cell phone while driving? Yes. A driver is permitted to use an earpiece, headphone device, or a device worn on a wrist to conduct a voice-based communication. The driver may use one button on a cell phone or mobile device to initiate or terminate voice communication, and voice-based communication may also be used to send a text message. Learn more at handsfreetn.com.